Good evening, and welcome to A Grieving Mother's Journey, Leafland, where we air every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. with open mic every third Sunday from 6:20 to 6:50 p.m. We bring grieving mothers together to share, trust, and bond with one another and to spread awareness of the pain that is caused when others choose to take a life by violence and the various struggles we face on a daily basis just to make it through the day. I hope that this will make those that are on that horrible path think twice and turn their lives around. Welcome. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to A Grieving Mother's Journey. We are on episode 14, and we are doing our open mic episode. This is where you can come in, you can share your thoughts, share your stories, funny stories, sad stories. You can vent, offer condolences, or even uplift somebody. So it's kind of a whatever episode. Granted, I know there's things called open mic where people go on and sing their songs or rap or so forth and so on, but that's not what this one is about. So this is really just about just saying whatever you want to say, respectfully, of course. Share anything that you want to share. I am not in the best of moods today. My family's been hit pretty hard the last couple of days, but I didn't want to let my listeners down, so I'm still here. So just keep me and my family in prayer, please. And I would love to hear from somebody today. Help me with a conversation or what have you. Phone number scrolling at the bottom. I did put a post that if anybody wanted to actually join live on the platform to let me know ahead of time so I could send you a link, but didn't get a response for that. So I'm here in the studio all by myself. So I guess I can start with a couple of announcements until somebody's ready to call in. Next week, we do have an exciting episode coming up. It's basically, I'm going to touch on the topic of, losing friends and family during our grief, which tends to happen to most of us, if not all of us. I've seen a lot of that on the page where people have mentioned that, people stopped coming around, people stopped calling things and things like that, so forth and so on. So I'd love to hear from you, hear your story. And I hope that some of these stories will enlighten others. Some part of the loss of family and friends may be due to the fact that, one, they really haven't experienced the type of loss that we have experienced. So it kind of puts them in a position where they don't really know what to say. However, not saying anything or not, staying in contact, even a phone call to check on someone. It means a lot to us grieving moms and dads. So if there's anybody listening that has not lost a child, but is there for support, that's just some words of encouragement, and kind of enlightens you on what you can do. Doing the disappearing act, using the excuse, well, I don't really know what to say. Family and true friends would not allow that to happen. So I just want to let you know that it's important to stay in contact. Yes, I know that, for someone that is supporting a grieving mom or dad, it may seem like forever, like the grieving mom or dad is, always talking about it, like the grief is never going to end. Well, newsflash, it's not. It's not going to end. Does it soften? Yes, it does. But, us grieving moms and dad, we still need that support from our family members and from our true friends to help keep us going. Those that have been around from day one, I'm sure you probably see a difference in, the grieving mom or the grieving dad as far as being able to cope a little bit better. So that just means it is getting better. And just keep in mind that you played an important role in that. So again, just a little bit of advice for those that don't really know what to say or don't really know what to do. And keep in mind, sometimes not saying anything is a good thing as long as your presence is there. So there's a difference in not knowing what to say and choosing just not to say anything at all. Difference between that and not knowing what to say, but still being there at your presence, it really makes a difference. So, I I'm hoping that someone has maybe something uplifting to share. Tempe, if you're listening, I know you tried to come on the episode where we were talking about visitations from our angels, had some issues. We still do want you to come on, whether it's by phone or not, and share your story. We'd love to hear it. So if you're listening, feel free to to call in. You can talk about it on this episode. So don't forget, next episode is going to be the loss of friends and family. So I would love it if I had, someone either in the studio or on the platform. I can accommodate anywhere you are. You just have to send me an email and let me know that you'd like to participate. I will send you a link and instructions on how to do so. So if anybody has anything they want to share, feel free to call in. I usually don't open the phone lines up until about 6:30 or so because I usually have a guest that needs to get their story out first. But the phone lines are open now. It'll stay open until we end our live session. So feel free to call in. Again, the phone number is scrolling at the bottom. The email is at the bottom as well if you wanted to email about next week. We do have some great upcoming shows after that. But as you guys know, especially my veteran listeners, you know how that goes. The following week is always announced on, during the live session. And of course, I begin to advertise that following Monday. Sometimes a little bit later. It just depends on, you know, if the guest has got to me in time, so forth and so on. But I like to at least advertise a week in advance to get people ready. If you want to just call in and say, hey, I'm loving the show, or hey, it sucks. Either one. And if you have any suggestions, feel free. Put it in the comments and speaking of comments, I don't know if I even have that on. Let me see. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, we do. So, I see. Hey, Kay. She says, hey, mama. Thank you, Kay. Hey, I love you. Hey, cousin Pam. Thank you for joining again. And I just want to say I really do appreciate the last 2 episodes that you appeared on. It was fabulous. I appreciate you and I thank you for participating. So if anyone has any questions for me or anything, or anybody wants to say anything, go ahead and give us a call. Hey, Jaleesa. She says, hey, hi, mama. You are definitely a strong individual and you are definitely not alone. I'm here for you always. Love you all. Same here, babe. Same here. Family always. Love you, mama. Thank you, KK. So anyway, I know we've only done the one episode prior to this for open mic, which was actually pretty successful. People tend to like it, so I decided, to keep going with it. However, if it's if it falls off, it's really just going to be a waste of my time and your time, and I will stop doing that. But for now, we'll see how it goes. It's only the second episode. And it does open up the platform for anyone to speak how they feel or speak what they want to speak. And it's also a time to maybe just have fun, have a good time. Grief is what it is. It's grief. And sometimes it can get, depressing and very sad. We do have one caller. Hold on one second. Thank you for calling Grieving Mother's Journey. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, cousin. This is Pam.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, good. I just was listening to you and just was hoping to, give you an encouraging word. It just is
Oh,
so amazing how your moods mirror my moods. It's like when I'm feeling a certain way, you're feeling the same way. So,
yeah, it's crazy, right?
so
It's just
mm,
things that have kind of like outside of, the loss. So I'm still dealing with the grief, but there's other things that's been
yeah,
going on that's just
yeah.
heartbreaking. So it's just a
I'm
lot.
sorry.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot. But
No.
yeah, I hope you become uplifted a little bit, As you know, I know what you're going through, and
Mhm.
it's just good days and bad days, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
So well, I'll be lifting you and your family up in prayers for sure, and we
Same
pray that you do the
here.
same for us.
Of course, always.
Yeah.
I pray for my family, everyone in the group, as
Yes.
well. I consider
Mhm.
everybody in my group family. We all have,
Right.
have created a great bond, and we support one another. So I include all of my prayers, and I just pray that, well, I know prayer works, right?
Yes.
Sometimes
Yes.
not as fast as we would like, right?
Right. Or
But it
yeah.
does work. And so I definitely will keep you in prayer as I always do. And I appreciate your
All
prayers as
right.
well.
Well, same for you. And I just wanted to call in and say hey.
Oh, thank you. I
So.
appreciate it. I don't feel so
All
all alone. I'm not
right.
I'm not used to I'm used to having somebody either on the platform or even here with me or both. So
I know.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a little odd, but it's okay, right?
Well, I hope anybody listening will call in and
Yeah.
encourage my cousin, and
Aw,
pray with her,
thank
and
you.
just let her know that you're here and you're thinking about her, because yeah, it is a lonely path,
It
for
is.
sure, this path of grief. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, don't
so
forget we have our episode coming up next week,
mhm,
where it's entitled basically, you know, we all lose friends and sometimes family members, right? Along our
mhm,
grieving path.
yeah,
So I think it would be helpful for people to share the stories about that, really just to get it out to those that,
right,
do drop off and don't, and not trying to, be intentional about it, but not really because they don't really
mhm,
know what to say or do. So I'm hoping
that's
that the
right.
stories will encourage people and say, hey, you know what? I am kind of going about this the wrong way. So let me fix it.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, you take care, and I love you, and I'll
Okay, cousin.
see you again soon.
All right. I love you. And I hope you have a great evening or try to. And I'm definitely
Thank
going
you.
to
You
lift you
too.
up in prayer tonight.
Thank you.
All
You
right.
the same.
All right. Love you,
Bye bye.
cuz.
Love you. Bye.
Bye bye. Well, that was very sweet. For those, that was my cousin Pam. She's actually been a guest twice on my podcast. She lost her son, which is my cousin, or second cousin it would be. I think with about in a week's time, week and a half time, that I lost my son. Hey, Veronica. Thank you so much. Veronica says, hi, hope all is well. I'm trying, Veronica. The hits just keep on coming. You would think that going through the grief that I've been going through for the past 2 years, that my family and I could catch a break. But it's just not happening. The stones just keep being thrown at us left and right, left and right, left and right. But we're gonna try to keep it moving as much as possible. So I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well, and I'm excited for you to come on the show. I know you're patient, so whenever you're ready. Hey Sarah, thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. I hope all has been well with you. Um, so I guess all I'm waiting for any other callers. I do want to share that I know um, a little while ago, I had put a post up on our group page, just asking, hey, is there any particular thing that anybody would like us to touch on? And I did have one member, and I apologize. I don't remember who it was because it was a little while ago. But if you're listening, this one particular person had asked to have an episode on forgiveness. I thought that was absolutely amazing. And I picked the perfect person. If any of you have watched the episode where my niece, Dr. Adia, came on and she spoke on Anger Consumes Me, that was actually our number one episode across the board. I mean, it was fantastic. If you weren't there, it's always posted on YouTube. You can go back and watch any of the episodes. Actually, and I apologize, that one is not on YouTube, because that happened prior to me getting the new program to be able to stream in multiple places. but I do think it's on the group page. You really need to watch it. Even sometimes when I'm just not having a good day, I will just rewatch it, and it just kind of lifts me up. But yeah, so Dr. Adia has agreed to come back and do the episode on forgiveness. Now, this won't be until around October, and of course I'm going to advertise, so please tune in for that. And if you have any questions for Dr. Adia, or you want to share anything regarding forgiveness, now this could be forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of you know, whoever had any hands in the loss of your child or children, this any type of forgiveness. So it's going to be a really great episode. Dr. Adia is amazing, I promise you. So make sure you tune in for that. Hey Moody, oh, she says, I love you, Mama. I love you too, to the moon and back, sweetheart. Thank you for joining and participating. I appreciate it. So I guess while I'm waiting on some calls, I think there was a couple of things. Yeah, there was a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, and feel free to chime in at any time. I'm just kind of making conversation right now. This is really about you. Um, but I just kind of want to keep it going. So feel free. If I'm speaking, feel free to call anyway. We'll get you on in. Feel free to leave a comment, ask a question, send condolences, uplift somebody. But I just wanted to ask if there's anyone listening out there about siblings. How are you guys doing? I know our last episode was on Sibling Speak. It was a very good episode as well, where we had Jamie Resbeck's daughter join us. And so I just want to see how you guys were doing, if anybody is participating in the group chat. As I stated last episode, I did create a group chat. Our admin Kay is over that. She is a sibling. And it's just a safe place for you guys, just you guys, not anybody else, just you guys to communicate, bond with one another, uplift each other, have a shoulder to lean on. So if you haven't heard about it, please join it. The other thing is, so is there anybody out there that I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about PTSD and anxiety? For me, it's been kind of off the chain. My first time experiencing it, just as probably everyone else in the group. Um, but it's just kind of hit different lately. So I was just wondering, if anyone else has been dealing with that. Now I know just recently mine has increased because of another issue, not another death, but just another issue with family has caused it. But um, I find myself having a really hard time um, dealing with it. Maybe more the anxiety than PTSD. And to be honest with you, I don't even know if there's a difference or what those differences are. So if there's anyone out there that does know the difference and experiences different, um, what is it? What I'm looking for? If your experience is different with each, feel free to call in and share with me, share with anybody else. Kind of let us know what to look for. Um, but yeah, it's been rough. And I guess the other thing I wanted to touch on with was basically, and this has doesn't really have anything to do with grief, but how many of you out there have a friend or a family member where you just want to say it is time to grow up? Like, that's a stress factor for grieving mothers when you're dealing with a friend or a family member that just continuously relies on you to make things better, right? Most of the time it's mom. We're kind of like everybody's mom, the savior of everybody. How many of you are kind of like overwhelmed with that? And if you are, um, what have you done, or what are you doing to kind of release that? So if any of the things that I've mentioned, please feel free to chime in. If you have something you want to just bring up, you can call in, chime in. Phone numbers scrolling at the bottom. Let's see. I'm trying to think of something Happy to talk about. It's been such a rough few days. I do want to mention that I have another episode coming up. I'm not going to tell you when, but this is for all, well, it's for everybody, but it's mainly going to be for you single moms or single dads. How has this affected your love life? We want to know. And I'm sorry, we have a call. Hold on one second. Thank you for calling the Grieving Mother's Journey. Hello, Butterfly.
Hi, Mom.
How are you?
Good. Sorry, I'm echoing a little bit. I'm on my way home from the store, so you're on my car.
Oh, it's fine. I can hear you fine. I hope the listeners can hear you okay. So far, no technical difficulties like we had a couple episodes ago.
Right. Well, I just wanted to call. I wanted to touch on two things.
Okay.
The first thing that I want to say, which I'm sure that everybody that is close to us and has been around and knows what our family has been through, it's an honor for me to be the daughter of somebody who is dealing with everything that you are,
Mm,
and you still manage to get on this platform no matter how you feel, and your goal every time is to help somebody else.
thank you.
And that is the one thing that I feel like needs to be acknowledged by everybody who loves you, because you have constant support, and then you have support from other people that come in waves,
Yeah,
but you know who your constant support comes from. And
absolutely.
I know that those people can agree that you're amazing for doing this, even on your bad days, even when you don't have the energy. Half the time, people wouldn't even know what you're going through on those days, but you still get on here and do it.
You got that right. Like even what we're going through now, they would probably like they wouldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I'm even still doing this
Correct.
today.
I
Yeah.
just want to let you know that I'm proud of you for that. And
Thank you.
as far as what you just talked about, a friend or a family member or anybody that's in your life while you're grieving, that you are also dealing with stuff because they are not growing up or they are not understanding your grief or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Those people, regardless of who they are, you have to love from a distance until you are healed enough to deal with it.
Yeah, and I do have a problem with that because I care so much about people, and
I
I
know
always
you.
put people first. And I'm so sorry. I'm just really stressed right now. Um, Forgive me, but this is really hard for me. Um, but I do. I have a bad habit of putting everybody before myself to the point where, I kind of feel like I'm having a nervous breakdown. Um,
Hmm.
but I'm strong and I'm going to keep it moving. I have a lot of people that depend on me in the group, family, this and that. I'm going to make it through. Um, but thank God for the support from you and all my kids and family members and friends. And I got to give a huge shout out to Joan. We are 500 miles apart, but it never fails for her to contact me on a regular. I'm not talking about a phone call here and then next month. No, whether it's a text message or a call. So I have to give her
Yeah,
props for that as well.
yeah.
But
And people don't understand how far that goes.
yeah,
It goes a long way, but it's okay for you to be strong and you to be superwoman. You've been superwoman my whole life, but you can't allow certain situations that you can't control
yeah,
to affect your day-to-day life, especially when we're talking other adults.
yeah,
You don't you have children and you do what you need to do for us, but at the end of the day, you're not obligated to do anything for anybody that you did not birth.
yeah,
And that's just the bottom line.
yeah. You're right. Absolutely.
And especially if it's people that you cannot go to on your bad days and reciprocate the things that you give to them. Those are
Yeah.
the people that don't really understand what you're going through,
Right.
because they wouldn't put you in the situation to have additional stress and additional anxiety on top of what you already have.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Like you always tell your kids, it's okay to say I'm not okay. Your child is telling you it's okay to say no.
I know. I know.
Start saying
I need to put that in my everyday vocabulary.
you do, and you do,
But just
because when you're going through it, your kids are going through it too.
I know, and that's why I try, my best to not. I don't want my kids to be stressed out because I'm not the only one grieving. My kids are grieving too from the loss of my son, right? So we all are dealing with something in one way or the other, so I try
Yeah,
not to put that on you guys.
you're not putting it on us. That's what we're here for. Just like you told me on the last episode,
Yeah.
it's the same. It's the same way. But
Yeah.
you have to stop. You have to stop trying to save everybody because right now you're struggling to save yourself.
Yeah.
So everybody else needs to wait.
Yeah, you're right. You're always my voice of reason.
And I'm gonna say it how it is, and I said what I said, and I don't care.
Well, I appreciate it.
Well, I love you. I'm gonna finish watching. I can't see you when I call, so.
Oh, I know. I appreciate it though.
All right, I love you.
I love you too, honey.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was very sweet. My oldest, my voice of reason. I did see a couple of comments come in while I was on the phone, guys. I'm not ignoring you. Crystal says, I love you, mommy. I love you too, honey, to the moon and back. You're another piece of my rock as well, and I appreciate you. Julie says on, Mrs. Donna, I have been suffering with anxiety since the death of my brother and godmother. Wow. Jalissa, I'm so sorry. Maybe, you and I can talk about, you know, how you're dealing with it. Maybe you could offer me a little bit of suggestion or vice versa. We can kind of help each other out because I'm struggling with dealing with that. The medication, it, works a little, but you know how that goes. Hey, Tom, thank you so much for tuning in. And then, Jaleesa, I do see, yes, I did see that there was someone calling, but I was already on a call. So, Brenda, if you are still listening, the lines are open again. Please call back. We would love to hear what you have to say. So please, I'm sorry I couldn't turn over the lines because I was on the line with someone else. But Brenda French, please call us back. Lines are open, and I appreciate you participating. And Crystal says to Joan, you are a real friend, and we thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Joan and I go way back. It's been a good probably 30 years. And like I said, we're 500 miles apart, but things just don't change. If I'm not calling her, she's calling me and she's checking on me and she's sending me text messages. Even if she can't get on, she tries to participate in the show as much as she can. And when she can't, she shoots me a text. Now, granted, she's grown. She doesn't have to do that, but that is a real friend. So anyway, I'm kind of gather myself back together here. I apologize, guys. It's just like I said, it's been really overwhelming for me the past few days, but I refuse to let my listeners down. I created this group to help other mothers. That's what I'm here for. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. So Brenda French, please call us back if you're still listening. In fact, let me see. I think, I don't know, maybe I might be able to give her a call back. Let's see. Okay, so Brenda, I'm going to call you back. And let's see.
Hello.
Hi, is this Brenda?
Yes.
Hi, Brenda. I'm so sorry. This is Donna with A Grieving Mother's Journey.
Hi.
Hi. I apologize. I couldn't answer the call because I was on the phone with another caller already.
That's okay.
Yeah. But thank you for calling in. I appreciate it.
I'm going to have to learn how to video chat.
Oh, no, it's okay. Actually, if you ever wanted to, join the platform where you're actually live, where you can see me. You would be part of it as well. All you have to do is just shoot me an email if there's anything you want to be a part of, any of our episodes. I would gladly have you on.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did you want to share when you called?
Well, when I had previously, on Facebook tried to answer a question that they had asked, some silly question survey thing. And when I answered it honestly, the admin wouldn't post it. Something about if you could be locked in a room with your ex, what would you do? And I answered it honestly. My daughter, she's the one that died from fentanyl.
Oh, geez, I'm so sorry.
And, DCF had taken her two youngest children from her.
Oh,
And it was after my husband died.
oh goodness.
And right after he died, I was raped. So my life was spiraling kind of out of control.
Oh, I can see
And
why.
I was taking care of the kids, but DCF saw what was kind of going on. But really, those kids were my saving grace.
Oh my God.
So they took them. And I think they took them not to punish me, but because I was kind of enabling my daughter, I guess, because me taking care of them was giving her the opportunity to be and do what she was doing, I did it because she wasn't a good mother.
Absolutely. And you were looking out for your grandkids. You actually did the right thing.
I
You were
had to, because
right.
when I called DCF about it, they'd tell me, well, you've got the kids, so we can't do nothing because no harm's coming to them. So
Mm,
basically, they were telling me, give her back the kids and let's wait and see what happens. No, they're my grandkids, so we're not going to
right.
do that,
Right, right.
So that, so eventually it happened. My husband died. I got raped. Things got bad. They took my grandkids.
Wow,
So
you've been through a lot, Brenda.
after they took my grandkids, they called my stupid ex-husband to see if he'd take them. And at that point, I had raised 3 of my grandchildren off and on for over 20 years.
Wow.
And, this ass bite, pardon my French, hadn't really done nothing but throw money, all my way when it was needed. Never had been physically. He had the opportunity to take a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. All he had to do was take them for maybe a year till DCF got out of the picture and give me those children back. And he didn't do it. So
So,
DCF put them up for adoption.
oh my God.
Sure, we didn't know my daughter was going to pass away, but she did. And now those kids are adopted, and those 2 little pieces of her are gone maybe forever.
Oh my God.
And even if she hadn't passed away, those 2 little pieces of her would still be gone. How can you say no to your grandchildren? I don't understand that. How can you be so disconnected from your blood?
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is horrible. You have been through hell and back, it sounds like. Geez, I mean, what does one say to that? So is there any chance at all that you would be able to reconnect with the grandchildren, or have they pretty much like sealed the records where you cannot
Yeah,
find them?
it was a closed adoption. I hate DCF. There was a DCF worker that lied. She pressed charges against me. She told she told the cops and stuff that I tried to run her over. anybody that knows me knows that if I tried to run her over, she'd she'd have been run over.
Mm.
She would have been run over. I don't try, I succeed.
Oh, well, I am so sorry to hear that, Brenda. I'm thankful that you are a part of our group, and our whole everyone in our group is going through some type of grief, and everyone is very
I know
supportive.
it. It's horrible. I read the stuff about these mothers,
Yeah,
and my heart breaks.
yeah,
My heart breaks. I see mothers that have lost their children
yeah,
years and years ago, and I think to myself, shit, this is never gonna end.
yes,
My heart is gonna be like this forever,
yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
and it hasn't even been a year for me.
Oh gosh, so this is very, very fresh for you. Have you sought any type of counseling to get you
Yeah,
through the grief?
I see a trauma therapist.
Try getting in contact with a grief
I
therapist.
can't. I'm so, I've been through so much crap in the last because all this happened since 21.
Mm,
I'm so mad at God. And I had a really, really bad childhood. My parents shouldn't have been allowed to have children.
mm.
But I'm so mad at God right now. If I could have a talk with him, it wouldn't be a good one.
Yeah, and I actually understand that part of it because I think, as a grieving mom, I went through that. I will,
Really,
I will. Oh
I've
yes,
seen where a couple mothers have gone through that angry part.
yes. So before we hang up, I do want to suggest one thing. So
Yes.
Dr. Adia, she's actually my niece. She did an episode called "Anger Consumes Me." And it's on the group page. It's not on YouTube because that wasn't streaming to YouTube at the time. I didn't have that program. Amazing, so helpful, so informative. It brings so much peace. When you get a moment, it's there at any time. Go back and watch that. Like I said, it was very amazing. I know it helped me. It was so good. It ended up being our number one top
And what
episode.
was it?
It's called "Anger Consumes Me."
Oh,
And
okay.
yes, it's on the page. If you go to the featured section, a lot of them are still up there, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's in there, and it's called "Anger Consumes Me" with Dr. Adia. Okay,
Yeah.
so I am going
It's
to.
like I can't, I was thinking of doing the ketamine therapy, and then I got Baker acted, and when I saw a shrink in there and told her about it, she goes, "Oh, no, 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 don't do ketamine therapy because you've been through so much, and, even through your childhood, that if the right person doesn't do that ketamine therapy, you could get stuck in some kind of psychosis and never
Okay.
come out,
Yeah, well,
you
it's
know."
probably good that take that advice. But I am going. We do have another caller coming in.
Okay, well, I
Um,
appreciate you calling
yeah, no, thank you. I actually I
and
appreciate you
telling me
sharing.
about that, because you
Yes.
helped me just with that information.
Oh, well, you know what? I am so glad. That makes my day's been really bad, but now I feel better that I could help someone. That is the whole purpose of this.
That's
But
right, I tried to do that too.
yeah. So, anytime, go in the group. We do this every week, every Sunday. Feel free to join at any time. Interact with everybody in the group. Everyone is very helpful, very supportive, and we have all been through some type of grief, so we understand. All
It's,
right.
it's terrible, all this pain around here with mothers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but we're all gonna make it through.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. All right, Brenda.
We're
Thank you so
strong.
much. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you. You're
Have a
welcome.
great day.
You
Thank you
too.
so much.
Of course, anytime.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Wow, that was touching. I really appreciate her calling in and sharing. That's what this whole open mic is for. Thank you, Delissa, for making me aware of the call. We do have a couple of other comments. Pamela Reese, my cousin, says it's like when you are on the plane and you need to put your own mask on first. Yeah. Hey, Doreen, she says, hey, sis, nice of you to join us, sweetheart. Hey, Teresa says, hey, auntie, what's up, fam? I love you. Let's see. And then Brenda, if you're still listening, our admin Kay says she's so sorry for your loss. And as well as Pam, Dr. Pam Reese, she's also she's my cousin, and she actually came on as well on as an episode on one of our episodes that you will find on YouTube as well as on our group page. So we are on episode 14. So you've got like 13 episodes that you can catch up on at your leisure in the comfort of your own home. It's not going anywhere. But geez, yes. So this actually turned out pretty good so far. We have about 15 minutes left. A huge thank you to those that called in. I really do appreciate. Okay. So I know you guys hear that. And for those of you that don't know, there's 2 dogs running around here. There's one little puppy that is so obnoxious messing with the big dog. But yeah, so that's the noise you hear. So I apologize. I usually have them locked in the rooms, but I didn't do that today because they were acting good, but now they're cutting up. So anyway, let's see. I'm not sure what else to talk about, guys. I mean, we've already kind of talked about, those of you kind of know my story already with my son, but again, I will be coming back to share the story from top to bottom. We still have to go back for a couple of things in October just to tie up some loose ends. So until that is done, I cannot share the full story. But when I do, it's probably going to take up a whole episode because I'm going to let it all out and I'm going to let all of you know what happened, how it happened, so forth and so on. But anyway, if there's anybody that wants to share like Miss Brenda did, feel free, even if you just want to share a happy moment. It doesn't have to be about grief if you don't want it to be. It could be about anything. So phone number scrolling at the bottom, 571-409-3400. If you ever want to be a guest and appear on the platform, you don't have to come in the studio if you're not from the area. I can accommodate anyone from across the world. All you need is an email and a phone, and I can bring you on the platform. So send that email if you're interested. Again, just as a reminder, next week, it's going to touch on the loss of family and friends due to our grief. Like I said, I know pretty much everybody has. I see it all through the group. And that is why I decided to touch on that episode, because there's so many of us that have lost either family or friends, and some people both, because our grief is either taking too long for somebody, or somebody thinks that we should be getting over it, or they just don't really know what to say or do. So I'm hoping that somebody is willing to share their story. The goal for that is to get it out there to those that are in the group or anywhere that are like bystanders as far as support. It'll kind of educate them as well. Our group was initially made for grieving mothers who's lost a child by violence. And of course, all is welcome because grief is grief, right? And we welcome dads as well. So I just want to put that out there, but we have a lot of people in there that are there to support us. That's important. I know there's quite a few groups out there that make it public and strictly only, for those that are just going through things, but it's really important to have a support system, because believe it or not, we have some moms and or dads that don't have a support system. And some of them, they go to the group for a support system. So we have to remember that just because we have a good support system, those of us that do, that doesn't mean that everybody does. So anyway, that's a little bit about the group. I guess while I'm waiting, if there's going to be any more calls, again, I do want to touch on something that my two admins, Kay and Crystal, and I are going to put together. It's not going to happen until 2025 because it is going to take some time. That's enough. But we do want to do a meet and greet, preferably twice a year. And if we are able to do it twice a year, one of them will always be held in the DMV area. Reason being, this is where it's based. And we do have a lot of people from the DMV area in our group, but we also have, believe it or not, we have members from everywhere. We have people from Nigeria, Canada, Wyoming, Arizona, of course, Virginia, DC, Maryland, Maine, New Hampshire. I mean, we have members from all over. We even have, I think it's Iran. So we are for worldwide, okay? And the goal is to reach as many moms. It doesn't matter where you're from, right? Because grief is grief. We're all grieving, and we need that support system with one another. We need to create that bond. So I think having that initial meet and greet, like there's a few people that I speak to all the time, and of course it's for everybody there. But I would love to just really meet in person and just give all the moms and dads a huge hug. Virtual hugs are great. But it kind of hits different when you actually meet someone that you've been conversing with on a regular. Their pain, you've supported their pain, or they've supported your pain. So that's going to be awesome, and it's going to be an exciting time. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be like an adventure. We're going to have things planned, and the last day is going to be absolutely amazing. So when we do get this together and put it out there, just remember, there's two things that you will need to bring. Some balloons, and we need a photo of your angel or angels. That's going to be needed for the last day. So I'm not going to give you any more information on that. It's going to be really exciting. I did take a poll on that, and it was fabulous. And one of the reasons why I asked the question on that poll was, if you chose that, I think it was anything other than, yes, definitely, why was it? And I did that because I'm sure that there's going to be, a reason, like maybe financially, because like I said, we have people from everywhere, right? So I'm trying to put something together where me and my admins will be able to accommodate in some type of way to help with that, because we don't want anyone to miss out on this. If everybody could come, we would love for you to come. But we understand, sometimes it's not just financial. Some people may not be ready. Some people, with the job, they may not be able to. So if you can't come, please don't get discouraged. And that is the reason why I want to do 2 a year. And I'm planning on the second one being not in the DMV to try to make it easier maybe for others. Now, I can tell you now, if you are from California, we probably won't have one in California, but we will try to go somewhere else. So maybe make it easier, but that's the goal. And if you can't come, we totally understand. We're still going to share that support with you through our page. And let's see, we have a couple more comments. I know, Kay. So Kay says it's okay to cut the show short if you need to, mommy. Oh, yeah. I kind of thought about that. But we're almost there. And then Millie Mill, my niecey Pooh Camille, she says, I love you, Auntie. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate it. So does anybody have an angel with their birthdays coming up soon? If so, you want to give us a call, maybe give some, what do you do on their birthdays? Do you do anything specific or special? I know for my family, we celebrate the death date and we celebrate the birthday every single year. We do things a little different for each. And it's a very hard time, but our goal is to keep my son, their brother, alive. And it brings us together. And I just want to give a shout out to, there's a few people that's always there, friends wise, considered family, that's always there no matter what. Quilla is one. Shout out to you, Quilla, if you're listening. Tina, it's another. Shout out to you if you're listening. You know, we have people that are just always there. And that means a lot to us. So I know I can speak for the whole family. Thank you for that. It's 6:50, guys. There's like 10 more minutes. And I will try to hang in there for the 10 minutes. If not, I just may take Kay's advice and cut this one a little bit short. But I don't know. I'm trying to think. So I guess before I go, let's take just a quick poll. And let me know in the comments if you enjoyed having the open mic versus just having an episode of, you know, where there's a guest every single week. If you enjoyed this and you think I should continue, if you could just put a heart in there or a yes, or just whatever you want to let me know. And I be honest, if you don't think this is something that we should continue with, just put a no or a black heart, whatever you feel. I find this a little therapeutic, as long as there's participation, which tonight I feel blessed. I did have participation through comments, through phones, and it just feels awkward for me because I'm usually have somebody beside me or have somebody on the screen that I'm talking to. So having these, or it's just a little different for me because I'm kind of like here by myself. But you guys have kept me great company and I appreciate it. And also don't forget, I'm always open for suggestions, people. If you have, like I said, I have quite a few episodes already planned out. But I'm the founder, so if I find that your suggestion is better, I can always move things around. But so I guess before we go, quick reminder, next week, episode 15, the loss of family and friends due to our grief. The chat group for siblings. Please don't forget that's there for you. Join it, bond with one another. I have it set where you actually I have to let you in. So we don't want anybody that's not a sibling in there. This is just for you guys. And also, don't forget, coming in October, Dr. Adia will be back and she will be speaking on forgiveness. And speaking of that, this is important. I am looking for those that were on the other end of the stick, the ones that committed the crime, the ones that took a life or somebody's child. I would love to hear from you or from the family. No judgment zone, but we want to hear about the other side. Meaning, do you regret what happened? Or do you feel that you were unjustly served? Do you want forgiveness from the family of the life that you took? Things like that. What was going through your head when you did that? Those are things that we want to know. And again, it's a no judgment zone, but you have to remember we are grieving parents. We've had a child taken from us one way or the other, some fentanyl. So if you were part of that, it doesn't have to just be murder, by gun violence or anything like that. It's still murder, but let us know. You don't have to come on the platform if you don't want your face seen. You can just call in, but just let us know. And again, I guess before I go, it is 6:54. If no one else, I'll give it like another minute. If no one else wants to call in, I will probably call it a night tonight. But yeah, so again, I'm open to a lot of suggestions. I have a lot of ideas already in play. But like I said, if you come up with something, just like one of our group members is the one that came up with forgiveness. And again, if you're listening, that was awesome. And I can't wait for that episode. If Adia could come sooner, I'd have it sooner. But she's not able to. She's kind of booked up as well, but she will be here in October. So make sure that you're here for that episode. So anybody have any last comments or anything before I call it a night? Was everybody happy with this episode? with the open mic? Do you think it's something that I should continue with? I know I asked this on the first time. It went well, and I was told yes. So I just want to make sure that everybody was okay with it. I know it was a little emotional on my part, and that's only because of what I'm going through. But normally I come in very upbeat, willing to talk about anything. But okay. So it's 6:55. I am going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank you, everybody, for joining and listening. Please share this, share the YouTube on your page to friends, have them subscribe. Eventually, we may end up not even going live on my personal page. It may strictly be YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so. And Pam says, yes, if you want to continue. Okay. Hey, Renee. Good to see you again. Thank you again for your support. I appreciate it. She says, God bless you. Thank you so much. I need that blessing, girl. And God bless you and your family as well. And then Camille says, yes, I enjoy getting to see you and hear stories and just watching. That's awesome, Camille. Thank you so much for your feedback, guys. I appreciate it. So we'll continue it a little bit more. And the other thing too, I was going to mention is that, oh, thank you, Kay. She says, great show, Mom. We love you. I love you too. Thank you so much. The other thing that possibly may go away is the phone lines. The only reason why I say that is because everything I do here is from my heart. I don't charge. It's free of charge. I do it because, one, for my son, and I do it for you. However, I do have to pay for this phone line. So if it's something that's not really needed, I might go ahead and discontinue that. But it'll be here for a little while. I'll see. People are still kind of getting used to it. So I'm patient, but just know that, if it's not utilized enough, then I will discontinue that and we'll just go with the comments. But okay, people, this time I'm going 6:57, so I'm close enough, guys. I am going to finish and drink it's lemonade, I promise you. Take some Tylenol for my headache, and I think I'm going to call it a night. I love y'all so much. Remember, we're here for you in the group. Recommend the group, share the YouTube video, or the podcast, I should say, and subscribe. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for joining. Well, lovely people, we are signing off. I hope you enjoyed our episode this week. Be sure to tune in next Sunday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And remember, no matter how old or how young, our children will forever be our babies. We just have one with wings. Be gentle with yourself and take all the time you need to heal. Thanks for joining. Good night. Thank you, Renee. I appreciate that. You guys have a good night. Thank you for joining. Love y'all.